Good morning everyone. Today we will study one more topic, that is the philosophy of the Constitution. Philosophy of the Constitution. Right. So where is this philosophy of the Constitution is mentioned? Where you will find the philosophy of the Constitution? First of all, the philosophy of the Constitution means you have to understand the philosophy of the Constitution means the values, okay, values and ethics, okay, or the principles that were there in the Constitution, that intended to be there in the Constitution. Then the thoughts or the ideals, not ideas, of course ideas, ideals, okay, the good things of the founding fathers of the nation who have led this national movement or freedom struggle to make India independent. Their thoughts when they sat in the Constituent Assembly and they started drafting this constitution, okay, their ideals or their thoughts, okay. All these things generally they are known as the philosophy of the Constitution, okay. The good things, the ideas, the moral, ethics, okay, what rights should people have, how the society should be, okay, all these things, that is they are considered as the philosophy of the Constitution, okay. So where you will find generally the philosophy of the Constitution, the ideals, morals, then the mind of the thoughts and ideals of the makers of the Constitution. Okay, generally it is found in the preamble of the Constitution. Preamble of the Constitution. The majority of it is present in the preamble of the Constitution. Apart from that, you will also find those ideals in fundamental rights, okay, fundamental rights. Then fundamental rights is there as part 3, okay, part 3 of the Constitution. Then directive principles of state policy, DPSP, okay, which is part 4 of the Constitution. Here also you will find this ideals, morals, okay, philosophy of the Constitution. Then the fundamental duties, okay, the fundamental duties, okay. So this is mentioned in next part, that is part 4a, okay. So when there is a you remember very carefully, when there is a question in the mains about the philosophy of the Constitution, first of all elaborately you have to discuss about the things that are mentioned in the preamble of the Constitution. You can say the 90% of the philosophy or ideals or the morals they have explained in the preamble itself, okay. One more thing you have to remember is the rest of the things, the fundamental rights, directive principles of state policy, and of course the fundamental duties, they are also nothing but the elaboration or explanation of the preamble, okay. They are not coming from somewhere else. Whatever the things that are mentioned in the preamble of the Constitution, just these things, the fundamental rights, directive principles of state policy, fundamental duties, they are further elaboration, explanation of the things that are mentioned in the Constitution, okay. So whenever there is a question on the preamble or with respect to philosophy of the Constitution of India, simply 90% of the answer, maybe if you are writing 5 to 6 points, you write 4 points about the preamble itself, okay. Then rest of the 2 points, maybe 1 to 2 points, you will mention the philosophy is also contained in fundamental rights, directive principles of state policy, and fundamental duties, okay. That is how you will frame the answer. Okay, so here in this class we will only examine the preamble. We are not going into the fundamentalized directive principles of state policy and fundamental duties. Of course we are going to study about them elaborately in the next classes. Okay, for the time being we will confine ourselves to this aspect, that is preamble. Okay, so you remember what is the philosophy of the constitution, then the same answer. What is the philosophy that is mentioned in the preamble, that is also will become the same answer. Then simply there is a question about what is contained in the philosophy, or what philosophy states, the same answer. Okay, the answer that we are going to study, or the things that we are going to study. Okay, right. So this background you should have in mind. And so the philosophy, now you got, when you are discussing about the philosophy of the constitution, almost 90 to 95% of the time you are discussing about the preamble of the constitution. Okay, you are discussing about the preamble of the constitution. Okay, preamble of constitution. So what is the preamble of the constitution? It is like an introduction to a book. You take a book, normal book, there will be an introduction to the book, that is called as foreword. Okay, it is called as, it is named differently for different books. Okay, for our constitution the preamble is like an introduction. Okay, means it is clearly stating what are the things that are going to be there in the constitution. Okay, it is like an introduction to the constitution. Not only it is an introduction, it makes us understand the actual spirit of the constitution. It is like a key. Okay, it is like a key to the book of constitution. Okay, this actually it has been opined by the highest court of India, that is the Supreme Court of India, in a particular case. Okay, right. So you have to remember, one thing you have to remember is that the preamble is not a simple thing. It is very important thing. Significance we will understand later. What is the significance of the preamble? Okay, so it is like an introduction to the constitution. Okay, right. What is the source of the preamble? From where it has come? Source of the preamble, or little bit, or you can call it as background also. Okay, so when the Constituent Assembly was formed, okay, when Constituent Assembly was formed in 1946, okay, and it sat for its first meeting. Okay, Constituent Assembly was formed. You have to remember that the constitution has been prepared and adopted by the Constituent Assembly. Okay, the constitution has been made, prepared and adopted by the Constituent Assembly. Okay, right. Next, when this Constituent Assembly is first met on 9th December 1946. Okay, then after few days, okay, maybe if I'm not wrong, the date is 14, somewhere like that. Okay, around this time, Jawaharlal Nehru, who was the leader of the Constituent Assembly, he has introduced this one. Give me 1 second. Jawaharlal Nehru, who was the leader of the Constituent Assembly, okay, he has introduced this resolution, very important resolution, that is Objectives Resolution. Okay, Objectives Resolution. This resolution is very important. What is the meaning of Objectives Resolution? Objective resolution means what are the objectives that we have or we are going to achieve through the constitution. Okay, that is the meaning of objectives resolution, or the objectives of the constitution that we are going to adapt. Okay, or objectives of the constitution which it intends to give to the people of India or citizens of India. Okay, so on this date objectives resolution has been adopted, introduced in the Constituent Assembly, and the same was adopted on 22nd January 1947. Okay, after the thorough discussion with minor changes, the objectives resolution has been adopted by the Constituent Assembly. Okay, Constituent Assembly. So this objectives resolution has become the preamble of the country. Okay, so objectives resolution, it has been introduced by Jawaharlal Nehru. It had certain things. Okay, giving liberty to the people, giving equality to the people. Okay, then promoting fraternity. Okay, giving a state like democratic state, republic state. Okay, like that. So many things were mentioned in the objectives resolution. Okay, with minor changes that has been adopted, and whatever that has been adopted, it has been taken as the preamble of the Constitution. Okay, so preamble, what indirectly preamble is constituting the objectives of the Constituent Assembly or the objectives of the Constitution, what it wants to achieve or what it wants to give the people of the country. Okay, right. So this is the brief background of the preamble of the Constitution. Okay, what is its background? It came from the objectives resolution introduced by Jawaharlal Nehru in the Constituent Assembly. Okay, right. So with this knowledge, now we will go into the actual preamble of the Constitution. Before listening to this lecture further, I want you to take a quickly, in 1 minute, take a look of the preamble of the Constitution, and then once again start watching this lecture. Okay, so if you look into the text of the preamble, okay, text of the preamble, we can divide it into 4 parts. Okay, 4 major parts. Okay, about each and every part we are going to study. Okay, so the first text, if you see the lines, the starting lines of the preamble, it is mentioned like that. Okay, like this: we the people of India, we the people of India. Okay, so it starts with this phrase. Okay, so what this phrase says, or what is the importance of this phrase, we the people of India? Okay, it is denoting certain things. Okay, what it is denoting? It is saying that people are the source of power. Okay, people are the source of power. They are supreme. Okay, in this country, people are supreme. All the power belongs to the people. Okay, so from where the power is coming? The power is coming from the people. You have to remember, the state power does not belong to the state or for the government. Okay, so generally it feels nowadays, if you see the execution of power, the way politics are taking place, okay, in our country India and also in many other countries, it people who are holding on to this power at the government level, they feel that the power actually belongs to them. No, if you understand these lines, what these lines are saying, the lines are saying, the Constitution, the preamble itself is starting with this word. We, the people of India, have, if you go on, have solemnly resolved to, constitute India into a, like that the word will go. Okay, so which means the Constitution is actually prepared by the people. Okay, directly, not directly, by indirectly. Okay, the Constituent Assembly has been prepared, right? So members of the Constituent Assembly, who were they? The Constituent Assembly has made this Constitution. Okay, so it had certain members. Okay, so from where these members have come? They have been elected by the state legislatures. Okay, state legislatures, or at the time the states they are called as provincial legislatures. Okay, but from whom these provincial legislators have been elected? They have been elected by the people. Okay, so indirectly, who is preparing the Constitution? It is prepared by the people of India, though not directly, but indirectly, they have elected their representatives, and their representatives have sent to the Constituent Assembly the people's representatives, and these people have made the constitution, not on their own, on behalf of the people of India. Okay, so ultimately, who is the supreme power in the country? The people are the supreme power, and all the power in the country belongs to them. And they themselves, it is mentioned in the preamble that the people of India, they themselves are making this constitution, and they are giving it to themselves. If you see the last lines of the constitution, preamble of the constitution, in the last lines of the preamble, it is said that it starts like this: we the people of India. And the last lines, if you see, on this 26th day of November 1949, we enact, adapt, and to give ourselves this constitution. Okay, so we enact, adapt, and give to ourselves this constitution. Okay, that is mentioned. So with these two phrases, we the people of India give to ourselves this constitution, it says that the ultimate power in this country belongs to the people are supreme. Okay, so then how this government is formed, how this judiciary is formed, how these legislatures are formed? The people, okay, the people, they have taken away some of their power and they have given it to all these bodies: the government, the executive, the legislature, even the state government, state legislature, then local governments. It is not the power that is vested with these, various bodies. It is the power of the people. The people have shared some of their power to these bodies so that certain common things can be executed or managed by these bodies. Okay, that is the meaning, that is the thing you have to understand. But unfortunately, a famous constitutional expert, D.D. Basu, in one instance he has opined that now people who are holding power in these bodies, whether it may be government, whether it may be in executive or legislature, they are behaving in such a way that the power actually belongs to them and it is their right to rule over the people. Okay, that is not correct. The power belongs to the people, and the people have given an opportunity for these people who are taking response, or who are given this power. People have given an opportunity for them to serve the people. Okay, but unfortunately the leaders, they have forgotten these things. Okay, right. So however, we will come to the topic. So this is what, this is the first phrase, that is we the people of India, and last lines you add last lines, give to ourselves this constitution. Okay, so this is showing that the ultimate power in the country belongs to the people of India. Okay, this is the first phrase. Then second one, okay, I will first explain the simple things, though actually if you see order wise, this will become the fourth phrase in the constitution, but for our comfortability, first we will discuss the smaller things. Okay, the fourth part is showing us the date of the adoption of the constitution. Okay, date of adoption. Okay, so when it was adopted, if you see, once again see the lines before these, give to ourselves this constitution on this 26th day of November 1949, we adopt, enact and give to ourselves this constitution. Okay, so this phrase is saying the date of adoption of the constitution. What is the day? 26th November 1949. Okay, right. Then why we will celebrate the 26th January as the Republic Day, when constitution was adopted on 26th November 1949? Okay, we have postponed the execution or the actual functioning of the constitution for 2 months. Why there is delay? We have actually, the constitution came into power on 26th January 1950. Okay, so though constitution was finalized, adopted on 26th November itself, it was signed by the chairman of this Constituent Assembly. It was postponed for 2 months, exactly 2 months, and 26th January 1950 it came to power. Okay, so this date has very important significance because in 1930 January, that is January 26th, 1930, when we were fighting for our freedom, okay, it was decided that 1929 Congress working committee meeting or Congress annual meeting, they used to conduct these annual meetings in December. So in the Congress, this annual meeting of December 1929, it was decided that the coming 26th, okay, means January 26th of 1930 celebrated as the day of complete independence. Complete independence. Okay, so if you go to 20 years back, this date has historical significance. During December 1929 meetings, it has been decided that Congress session, it has been decided that the coming 26th January, okay, 1930 shall be celebrated as a complete independence day, Purna Swaraj, they used to call it, okay, and they have also decided to celebrate the day as Day of Independence, and they have decided to hoist the national flag, Indian national flag. Okay, to coincide this day, enforcement of the Constitution with this historical day, we have waited for 2 months, and we have on 26th January we have made that the Constitution will come into power. Okay, that is the significance. Okay, then this date is also very much significant, right? The date on which the Constitution has been actually adopted. Okay, so this day also we have few days back we have celebrated this day. Okay, what is that day? On 26th November, many state governments, including the central government, has conducted these functions. Okay, that is Constitutional Day or Constitution Day, simply Constitution Day. This day we have celebrated to commemorate the adoption of the Constitution. Okay, right. That's it. You have to remember the dates. You have to remember 26th November, that is the Constitution Day, on the day which the Constitution has been adopted, finalized. Then 26th January, on which the Constitution has come into force, means it is enforced. And why there is delay? Because of this historical reason. Okay, that much you have to remember. Okay, that's it. This is about the date of the adoption. This is the second thing, and if you go the serial wise, then that will come fourth part of the Constitution. Okay, right. Then we will come to the second part. Okay, now we will come to the other part. Okay, the second part, actual second part, that is okay, the phrase, if you study once again the preamble, if you study the preamble, we the people of India, right, we the people of India have solemnly resolved to constitute India. We the people of India have solemnly resolved to constitute India into a. These are the words. These words are very, very important. Constitute India into a sovereign. Okay. Then secular. Then socialist. Okay. Then democratic and republic. Okay, democratic and republic country. Okay, right. So you remember these words are very, very important. The preamble is saying that we the people of India have solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, secular, socialist, democratic and republic. And then it will go like, and to give people of India, okay, justice, liberty, we will see them. Okay, then what this part is saying, we want to, people of India wants to constitute India into a sovereign, secular, socialist, democratic and republic country. Okay, so what these words are saying are giving us, they are giving us the nature of the state. Okay, nature of the state or nature of the government that is going to be there in our country. Okay, so sovereign, secular, socialist, democratic and republic. Give me 1 second. Right, right. So these words are giving us the nature of the state. Okay, right. One more thing you have to remember in this. Give me 1 second. Yeah. One more thing you have to remember, when in the original preamble or in the original constitution, there were only three words were mentioned in the original preamble. Okay, what are the three words? Those are sovereign, not this one, democratic and republic. The rest of the two words, secular and socialist. Right. Uh, these two words, that is secular and socialist, these two words have been added later through the 42nd Constitution Amendment Act of 1976. Okay, so you have to remember, preamble has been amended only once, that is this through the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act that was made in 1976 when Indira Gandhi was the Prime Minister. Okay, these words and one more word, another word is there, we will also see that word, integrity. Okay, integrity, this word also has been added to the preamble of the Constitution. Okay, right. Now we will understand what is the meaning of this each and every word. Okay, so what is the meaning of sovereign? What is the meaning of a sovereign state? Sovereign means it is second to none. Okay, second to none in the world. It will, India as a state will take its own decisions. Okay, it will not be influenced by the pressure of other countries. Okay, it will take its own decision and it is second to none. Okay, if you see thoroughly, there is a perfect decision. It is, okay, it is internally supreme. Within the country, government is supreme. Okay, internally supreme. Okay, then externally independent. Okay, externally, when it goes and sits with other countries, other states, it is independent. Okay, and internally it is the supreme body. Okay, that is the meaning of sovereign. In layman's language, it is second to none. It is independent. It is, will not come into pressure and take the decisions. It acts on its own. It takes its own decisions. Okay, that is the meaning of sovereign. Then we see the next word, secular. Okay, what is the meaning of secular state? Remember, this was not there in the original constitution, though secularism was a feature of our constitution. If you go into the articles, if you see in the fundamental rights, several other articles from within the fundamental rights 25 to 28. These four articles make our constitution or our polity a secular polity. But just that this word was not mentioned in the preamble before, and through that 42nd Constitutional Amendment, the word also has been included in the preamble. So what is the meaning of secular? The meaning of secular is the state do not have any religion. Okay, there is no state religion. Okay, there is no state religion, there is no official religion for the state. Then all the religions are equal for the government. Okay, it will treat all the religions equally. The state will treat all the religions equally. Okay. Then for intra-religious equality means within the religion equality. For equality within the religion, the state can interfere. Okay, that is there. Okay, and one more thing, the state will also treat the all the religions equally, means it will not favor one religion over the other religion. Okay, and generally it will not interfere in the religious affairs of the people. Okay, generally it will not interfere in the religious affairs of the people, but for intra-religious equality within the religion, if some people are being discriminated, then the state can interfere. Okay, and otherwise generally it will not interfere. And in one more case also the state can interfere, that is for the administrative purposes. For administrative purposes, to maintain law and order, to maintain safety, the state can also interfere in the religious affairs. Best example is when this big brahmotsavas etc take place at various places, the police will participate and they make sure that there is no breakdown of law and order and the people are safely visiting the place and coming back. Okay, so for this administrative purposes the state can interfere. Otherwise generally it is nothing to do with the personal belief or religious aspects with respect to people. That is the meaning of secular. Then we come to the next word, that is socialist. Okay, so what is the meaning of socialism? So in a capitalist society generally you will see the concentration of wealth only in the few hands of the few people. So basically the socialism says that the this resources, okay, resources shall not be concentrated in the hands of the few people. Resources should be owned by all the people. Okay, resources shall be in the hands of all the people and there should be no concentration of wealth or income. Okay, concentration of wealth and income shall not be there. Okay, in other words, there should not be any income inequality. Okay, there shall not be any income inequality. Okay, and workers should be taken care of. Welfare of workers should be there. Okay, welfare of working class should be taken care of. Okay, so all these are the features of the socialist country. Important point is resources shall not be concentrated in the hands of the few people. The resources shall belong to all the people of the country. Okay, so these are the certain features in the socialism. Okay, socialist, that are part of the socialism. Okay, so if you see the directive principles of state policy, most of the articles they are having the nature of socialism or socialism. Okay, so if you see the entire directive principles of state policy, many things. Okay, appropriate wages or minimum wages, then equal wages for women and men and women, then right, opportunity for education for the children, then proper working conditions for the workers, then giving an opportunity to the workers to become part of the management of an organization or company. So like this, several provisions are there in the directive principles of state policy. All these they have the socialist nature. Okay, right. Then what is the word? Next word, democratic. Okay, what is the meaning of democratic? The famous definition or popular definition that is there for democratic country is, what is the popular definition? By the people, of the people, by the people, and for the people. Okay, of the people, the government is of the people, it belongs to the people. Then by the people, it is formed by the people, and it is for the people. Okay, for the people. That is the popular definition of the democracy, means Democracy means, if you understand the word literally, it is rule by the people. Rule by the people. Okay, means people are ruling themselves. Okay, how they are ruling? How they are ruling themselves? They are electing their representatives. Okay, and on the other side, they are voting and they are electing the, the executive also. There is various systems like presidential form of government and prime ministerial parliamentary form of government. So these are this, but how they are actually participating in the democracy by way of elections or by way of periodic elections. Okay, so in our country, for every 5 years there will be elections, and the person who gets majority, that person will be there in the power for 5 years. Okay, during that 5 year and 10 year also, if that government is not performing well, it can be brought down and a new elections can be conducted and a new government can be formed. Okay, so you have to remember that people are ruling themselves, people are participating in the formation of the government. Okay, that is how it is called as a democratic system. Okay, earlier this was not the system. Okay, people were do not had any role before independence. People do not had any role in formation of the government. Okay, that is the meaning of democracy. Okay, democratic, that is the meaning of democratic. Right. Next, the last one we will understand, that is republic. The word republic. Okay, then what is the meaning of republic? What is the meaning of republic? Republic is the head of the state. Okay, the head of the state is not, the position of head of the state is not hereditary. Okay, okay, the head of the position of the head of the state is not hereditary. Before the constitution, it was hereditary. Okay, the king used to be the king for always. Then his son will come, then his son, then his son. Okay, this is hereditary. Okay, after the adoption of the constitution, the preamble mentioning that our country will become a republic country, means head of the state is not coming by hereditary position. Head of the state is also elected by the people. Okay, elected by the people periodically. Election will also be periodical, and this position, head of the position of head of the state, it is open to all the people in the country. Okay, it's not like that only selected people can contest for the head of the post, head of the state. In our case, it is president. Okay, president. Right. So practically now, or theoretically, at least theoretically, the position of the president is open to all the people in our country, all the citizens in our country, at least theoretically. Practically, if you come to, there are certain conditions, like they should have the recommendation of the members of parliament. Then they should deposit this much of money. Then they should have attained this much of age. Like that, there are several conditions. Otherwise, theoretically, the position of the head of the state has been made open to all the people in the country. Okay, that is the meaning of republic. Okay, then what was the earlier practice? The head of the state was coming hereditary. If you see the country United Kingdom, which actually ruled us, still it is practicing this hereditary nature. Okay, the UK, it is not a republic, because the head of that country, the king, still king is there for them. King or queen is there. So that country is still not a republic, because the king or the head of the state is coming hereditarily. There are no elections conducted. Okay, so this is the meaning of the word republic. So all these 5 words, now we have understood how they are explaining the nature of our polity or nature of our state, what or how India is going to be. Okay, right. So this is the second part actually, which is giving us the nature of the state, and this is also part of the philosophy of the Constitution. Right? Right. Then we come to the third part and the another important part, which are actually giving us the objectives of the preamble or objectives of the constitution. What constitution intends to achieve. Okay, right. So if you once again see the preamble, we the people of India have solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign socialist republic, socialist democratic republic, and to give people of India okay, the words are mentioned like this: justice, okay, justice of social, economic and political, then liberty, okay, liberty of thought, expression, belief and worship, okay, then equality, of opportunity and status, then to ensure fraternity among all the people of India, to achieve the dignity, to give the individual dignity of individual, to ensure the dignity of individual, and to promote unity and integrity among the people of India. Right. So like this, four words are mentioned. Okay, justice, social, economic, and political. Then liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship. Then equality of opportunity and status. Then to promote among all the people of India fraternity. Okay, to ensure dignity of the individual and to promote unity and integrity of India. Okay, so what are these four words? Basic words are saying that they are giving us the objectives or goals of the preamble. Okay, goals or objectives of the constitution. Objectives or goals of the constitution or the preamble. Okay, then what is the meaning of justice? Justice should be there. Justice with respect to social, economic and political, justice should be there. Okay, what is the meaning of it? Means there should be equality among the people. Okay, equality and equity among the people. Okay, so don't worry, you will understand that what is the meaning of equality in fundamental rights. Okay, under article 14 to 18, right to equality. Okay, then equity is, there are already inequalities among the people based on caste, based on religion, then many ways based on gender, there are inequalities. So first of all, you try to address the inequalities. Okay, you address the inequalities among the people, then you treat them equally. Okay, economically there is inequality. Some people have lot more wealth and many of the people do not have wealth at all. Okay, then social inequalities are there. Based on caste, people are being discriminated. There is practice of untouchability. Okay, like that. Social inequality are there. Then political inequality. Okay, historically power has been concentrated in the hands of the only few people. Rest of the people do not have the access to power. That is political inequality. How this political inequality has been addressed in the constitution? By the right to vote for all the people. Okay, universal, by giving universal adult franchisee, and to right to contest also we have tried to address the political inequality. Okay, so if we are addressing the inequality and treating all the people equally, then that is known as justice. Okay, what type of justice we want to give to or achieve in the country? Social justice, economic justice and political justice. Okay, that is, social, generally the social and the political justice, this can be achieved through the fundamental rights that are guaranteed in the part 3 of the constitution. Then how economic justice will be achieved? This can be achieved through the directive principles of state policy that are mentioned in the part 4 of the constitution. Fundamental rights are mentioned in the part 3 of the constitution. Okay, so this type of important things you should be aware of. Okay, Then you come to liberty. Okay, so liberty of the state shall also ensuring that liberty of thought. Okay, then expression. Okay, liberty of thought, expression. Okay, then belief, then faith. Okay, then faith and worship. In all these things there should be liberty for the people. Okay, so liberty of thought, liberty of expression, belief, faith, worship. Okay, liberty of thought, expression, all these things are mentioned in article 19(1). Okay, if you go to fundamental rights, article 19, right to freedom, these are mentioned there, they are ensured, these are given under the article 19. Then this right to believe, right to faith and worship, these are given from articles 25 to 28. Okay, so under right to freedom of religion, okay, all these things are ensured. Okay, so they are also, when you are giving people freedom in this one or liberty in these things, it is also ensuring the secularism. Okay, in this way we are also becoming a secular country. Okay, so all these things are guaranteed under these various articles. In this way we are ensuring the liberty of the individual. Why liberty is individual? Liberty is individual. When you go back little bit into world history and you understand the French Revolution, how the liberty of the people has been curtailed, because of that how people have suffered. Okay, that is why individual liberty is very very important, that then only our life will be a dignified life, we will realize our full potential, we know we cannot be suppressed. Okay, then we also develop as a human being, we grow as a human being, we develop as a individual human being. Okay, there is absence of restrictions on us, that is the meaning of liberty. Okay, then it is also mentioning about equality. Okay, so equality should be there in status, okay, and of opportunities. Okay, so equality shall be there in status. So for that what we have, once again, the articles that are there in article 17, article 18, they make sure that there is equality in status. No people, people are not treated differently. All the people are treated equally. There are no privileges for certain people, okay, over the other people. So that is the meaning of equality of status. Then equality in opportunity. Opportunities means to get into educational institutions, to get into government service, government job. These are opportunities. Okay, so there should be opportunity, equality in opportunity also. Okay, some people may not be discriminated. Okay, but once again we have to see this concept of equity. Are all the people at same position to compete for this get into educational institutions and government services? No, certain people are disadvantaged. Historically, certain sections of the people do not have access to education. Only few sections of the people had access to education. Okay, so for that the state can provide reservations or affirmative action to ensure that equal opportunity is there. Okay, so that is how you have seen the concept of reservation through the articles 15 and 16. Okay, in this way we are ensuring that there is equality in opportunity. Okay, then the last one is fraternity. What is the meaning of fraternity? The meaning of fraternity is the feeling of brotherhood. Okay, brotherhood among the citizens of India. Okay, we take a pledge during the, we used to take a pledge during the schools, right? All the citizens of all the people of India are my brothers and sisters, like that you used to take pledge, right? So that is the concept of fraternity or brotherhood. We have to treat all the citizens of India as our brothers and sisters. So this will give dignity, okay, to the individual. Every individual will have dignity, that he is respected in the society, he is not discriminated. Okay, that respect is there, that bond is there, that brotherhood is there, and it will also promote unity of the country or unity among the people of India, and it will also ensure the integrity of the country. Okay, integrity of the country. So you have to remember that this word integrity was also not there in the original preamble or in the original constitution. It was also inserted along with these two words, socialist and secular, in the through the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act in 1976. So through this 42nd Amendment Act, preamble has been amended only once and the three words have been inserted, that is socialist, secular and integrity. Okay. So by ensuring fraternity, what we can do, we can we can promote the dignity of the individual, and also we promote the unity among the people of India, and we ensure that India is integrity of the country. Okay, right. So this is the philosophy of the Constitution. Okay, we have studied it in 4 parts. I said this is the 3rd part. Then what will become the 4th part? The date of adoption of the Constitution. Okay, that is mentioned in the last. So together the preamble is discussing about all these things. Together we say that this is the philosophy of the preamble or philosophy of the Constitution. Okay, right. So I hope you have understood the concepts. Don't worry, all these concepts once again we will study as part of fundamental rights and directive principles of state policy and fundamental uses. All those things are nothing but the elaboration of the preamble of the Constitution. Okay, so this is the answer for the philosophy of the Constitution and also for the preamble of the Constitution, or aspects that are mentioned in the preamble of the Constitution. Okay, right. A few more things are there, like questions are there, like preamble is part of the Constitution or not. Yes, right now if we take the current position based on the judgments of the Supreme Court of India, the preamble is now part and parcel of the Constitution. Not only it is part of the Constitution, but it is also part of the basic structure of the Constitution. Okay, then what is the basic structure of the Constitution? You will understand later in the classes, but briefly I will tell you the basic structure of the Constitution. This doctrine has been given in the Keshavananda Bharati case of KB case, Keshavananda Bharati case of 1973. In this, the court has opined that the Parliament can amend any part of the Constitution, but it has certain basic features, common important features. These features cannot be amended, or the features through the amendments, the features cannot be changed. Okay, and along in the same case, it said that the preamble is also part of the Constitution, and so it is part of the Constitution. It can be amended. Okay, so now you take the amendment, the status of the preamble. It is part of the Constitution. Okay, then it can also be amended. Okay, so likewise the judgment came in 1973 and it was preamble was once amended in 1976. Before that, one judgment was there, that is in 1960 there is a judgment, Beru Bari judgment. At that time there was question arise whether preamble is part of the Constitution and it can be amended or not. In this case, the Supreme Court said that the preamble is not part of the Constitution. Okay, preamble is not part of the Constitution and hence it cannot be amended. Okay, so this was the judgment given by the Supreme Court in 1960, and subsequently it changed its decision during the Keshavananda Bharati case of 1973, and it said that preamble is part of the Constitution and so it can be amended. But it said that preamble is also part and parcel of the basic structure. So the nature of the preamble should not be changed through the amendment to it. That was mentioned by the Honorable Supreme Court. Then this is about the amendability. Then what is the significance and what is the relevance of the preamble right now? Okay, right. So the relevance of the preamble, if you see, though preamble is not justiciable. Okay, not justiciable means if preamble, anything that is mentioned in the preamble, if it is not implemented, okay, implemented or violated, we cannot simply go to the court and ask that court that the certain aspect that is mentioned in the preamble is not being implemented. So you ask the court to you ask the court to direct the government to implement that thing. Okay, that option is not there, that justiciability is not there. Court is also not allowed to encourage that type of petitions. So the judicial protection is not available for the preamble, but still it is the key, like Supreme Court has said that it is key to the Constitution of India, and whenever there is problem in interpretation of the provisions of the Constitution, there is confusion, okay, there is ambiguity in understanding the provisions of the Constitution, we can come back to the preamble, okay, and we can read those provisions in relevance to the preamble. Then you will understand the preamble, you will understand those provisions clearly. Okay, so if there is a problem in interpretation of any article, okay, then they have to be interpreted in the spirit of the preamble. Okay, we have to come back to the preamble, then we have to understand that provision in the spirit of the preamble, then the provisions can be interpreted, that ambiguity will go away. Okay, so this is the significance or importance of the preamble of the Constitution. Okay, right. Apart from that, we have said it is, the preamble is having the goals, ideals, ethics, principles of the Constitution, and the ideals, goals of the founding fathers. Okay, our founding fathers. Okay, so broadly this is about the preamble of the Constitution. We will close this topic here. In the next class we will come up with a different topic. Okay, so until then, have a good